People, what's going on? How is everybody doing? I guess we're having a wonderful trading week. I had a great start to my week. Took a loss, took a win. That's a great start. So this is your boy Harlem, and I'm back with another video. So today I just want to break down how I took a regular trade like I always do, people. Like it's even more like a cycle. It's our outlook, it's our trade breakdown, our educational video, and psychology. I need content, people. Like I need content. I plead content. I plead content. I plead content. So enough with the capping. Never mind the sounds that you guys hear apart from me. You guys know that we got a little broski inside the crib. You can't stop him from growing up and from talking a lot. He also can't stop us from putting in the work and making the time before me. So happy human rights to circle of traders, to the world before me. So without further ado, let's just explain this and break down how we took this trade. This is strictly the hourly time frame. I don't have a daily, I don't have a 14-minute, I don't have a 1 minute, I don't have a 4 hour. This is strictly an intraday time frame, the hourly time frame, right? So on our outlook from the 4 hour, I did indicate that like price was kind of like trading somewhere right there. And I did say that the only thing that I'm waiting to see is to actually see if price will continue bullish and breaking the zone. You feel me? That was one take, right? I was hoping to see if price will break the zone, right? With a fail to break, I was looking forward, obviously, for a reversal to the downside, anticipating that we're having that intraday resistance and we're failing to break that intraday resistance. We might look forward for a downtrend, right? So when I woke up, I think it was like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., somewhere right here. I saw the like price might be having some sort of bullish moment, some sort of bear momentum, right? So with the bear momentum that I had, all I was simply waiting for was that like the minute price breaks out of the lows, the minute price breaks those overall rejections right there, then I'm continuing to the downside. But we had one rejection before we had all those rejections right there, right? I had this one rejection. I was like, if price closes below the zone, then I'm going in. So impatient Harlem, the impatient me, the impatient Harlem, right? The impatient Harlem saw that like now we're having a bear candle. We're having some sort of what? We're having some sort of a bear engulfing candlestick, right? Coming back to the zone as quick as it could. So with price now pushing to the downside impulsively, coming back to the zone, breaking out and closing below and closing above our rejection, right? You can see this rejection right there. With price breaking out and breaking in, closing above this intraday support or this rejection, obviously you anticipated that like price might continue to the upside. But like with this engulfing candlestick, that this bear engulfing candlestick I had, the coming candlestick was bearish, right? Was bullish, and this candlestick opened bullish. Boom. And I simply waited for it to turn and be bearish and trade below my rejections, anticipating a continuation to the downside from a bear engulfing candlestick on our pre-London session, right? So now, unfortunately, now price, as soon as this candlestick turned bearish, right, trading below, that's when I took a trade. That's when we took a trade, right? That's when I took a trade. That's when I took a trade, somewhere right there, because this rejection wasn't as big as it was. I think it was like a 30 or 30 something pip rejection before it made a 45 pip rejection, right? So my stop loss was somewhere right there, and I had like my targets. I had a deep target, right? I anticipated a deep target because now price was trading below intraday zones, anticipating that like price might continue moving to the downside. You feel me, people? So now how I took this loss, people, it's simple. It's simple, right? One, I was impatient, right? I didn't want to wait for a candle close. Two, price didn't close below my zone, right? And then three, I had FOMO, and I had like, yeah, I had FOMO. I would say I had FOMO because I felt like price will impulsively move to the downside, like those candlestick impulsively moved to the downside. But unfortunately, price took us out, right? So with price taking me out, that was it. We took an L, right? So let's break down how we took this one. Let's break down how we took this one, right? So now, with price rejecting right there, creating some sort of intraday support, price pushed to the upside with a candlestick which impulsively engulfed, which impulsively pulled back to our intraday support. Those candlestick pulled back to our intraday support. Anticipated that, like, obviously, with now price doing what? With now price coming back right there, pushing to the upside, coming back right there, we're having some sort of what? Some sort of double bottom, right? So now, when I saw this candlestick impulsively coming back to the zone on our pre-New York session, people, we're done with the London and the pre-London. We're now on our New York. So this pre-New York candlestick impulsively had a bear candle close, which rejected, right? But it still closed below our rejections in our bodies of our candlesticks, right? So now, when this candlestick did this, the only thing that I waited for, or the only thing I was looking for me to continue bullish, to continue bearish, it was once we trade below our rejections, right? Because we had rejections, right? And we had a rejection. In order for me to anticipate that, like, price will continue moving to the downside, let's close below all the rejections, and that will be it. But fortunately, price did what? Price couldn't break out and had a bear candle close and had a bear candle open and a bullish candle close. And that was it, people. Here for me. So let me repeat this once again. Let me break this down once again, right? Price came back to our zone, right? Didn't close below, rejected the zone, creating some sort of intraday support. So from price pushing and price exhausting, we anticipated some sort of double bottom, and we anticipated the live price will continue to the downside, long as we don't break below our rejections. Long as we don't break below our rejections or our zones, and that was it. So with price now pushing to the upside, that was it. But I didn't have a 168 pip. I did have a 168 pip target, but I didn't close. I closed. I think it was where was it? 39 pip. Yeah, somewhere right here. Where's this candlestick? Yeah, somewhere right there. Yeah, I think we went for 60 pip with a stop loss below our rejection. I think we went for 68 for 60 pip target, right? I think we went for 60 pip target, and that was it. But overall, I was looking for what? A 168 pip target. But because now price did what it did, right? Because now price did what it did, I took what I took, and that was it, people. You follow me, people? So breaking this down once again, price pulled back to our rejection, right? Creating some sort of support. Price pushed to the upside and impulsively pulled back to our support, right? Creating some sort of double bottom, right? So from a double bottom, this candlestick opened bearish. We simply waited for it to trade bullish above our support, anticipation of a continuation to the upside. And that was it, people. That was it. I wasn't looking for much. I wasn't looking for less. This trade is based on what? On three things: candlesticks, support, and patterns, right? Candlesticks, support and resistance, and patterns. That was it. So this is your boy Harlem, people. That's all I got.